Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is 12 o'clock Newsbreak. In the local scene, to streamline the referral system in the province, the Provincial Health Office PHO is now in constant dialogue with the Bicol Regional Hospital and Medical Center, BRHMC. In line with the recent declaration of the Department of Health, DOH, through its Department Memorandum Number 008 or 0088-2024, recognizing Albay as an integration site of universal health care, PHO's hospital monitoring team recently led a consultative meeting with BRHMC. During the second consultative meeting with the 8 PGA-managed hospitals, Acting Provincial Health Officer Dr. Stella B. Zenit said that BRHMC has agreed in co-managing the patients. In other story, the provincial government of Albay is set to bind an agreement with the Department of Tourism Regional Office 5 through a memorandum of agreement for their collaboration in the development of integrated tourism map. The said undertaking will be significant in mapping out tourism resources in relation to other relevant data such as tourism zone, hazard areas, protected areas, and to facilitate analysis of data to pursue resilient and sustainable tourism development and promote the strong governance and destination management in the region, which includes Albay. According to the Provincial Tourism, Culture and Arts Officer, Dorothy Collier, the said agreement will make it easier to identify the location of the tourism sites, and it would be advantageous for the promotional production, including materials to be used to advertise the tourism sites in the province. In other news, the Department of Trade and Industry launched an interactive web-based platform to ensure faster response and intervention to consumers' complaints in Albay. Consumers can access the Gabay sa Tamang Reklamo webpage or by scanning its quick response QR code. The project was in partnership with the Albay Consumer Network, an interagency network of government agencies and local government units that aims to strengthen advocacy to protect consumer rights and welfare. In the national scene, a magnitude 4.8 quake hit Mumbarao, Occidental Mindoro on the evening of Easter Sunday, March 31, according to PVOX. The epicenter of the earthquake was recorded 25 kilometers southwest of Mumbarao with a depth of 21 kilometers and was tectonic in origin. No damages or aftershocks are expected after the said earthquake hit the area at 7:04 p.m. according to PVOX data. At around 4 p.m. on the same day in the same area, PVOX recorded a 4.7 jolt, 31 kilometers southwest of Mumbarao, Occidental Mindoro. It had a depth of 24 kilometers and was also tectonic in origin. In other story, the Philippine National Police PNP has been assigned an officer in charge as its current chief. General Benjamin Acorda ended his term on March 31. According to a memorandum from the Office of the President, signed by Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin, Police Lieutenant General Emmanuel Peralta has been designated the PNP's OIC. Peralta, who serves as the PNP's Deputy Chief for Administration, will remain as the OIC until a replacement is appointed or until otherwise directed by this office, according to the memorandum. Acorda was supposed to step down from his post last December after turning 56, the compulsory age of retirement from PNP personnel. However, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. extended his term until March 31. In other news, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. recognized several agencies in charge of the Philippines' maritime security, saying the move was needed as the country continues to confront a range of serious challenges that threaten not only the country's territorial integrity. Marcos's Executive Order Number 57, also known as Strengthening the Philippines' Maritime Security and Maritime Domain Awareness, renamed and recognized the National Coast Watch System (NCWS) into the National Maritime Council (NMC). The NMC will be the central body in charge of formulating policies and strategies to ensure the unified, coordinated, and effective governance framework for the country's maritime security and domain awareness. And in the news outside the country, Pope Francis called for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza and the release of all Israeli hostages in an Easter Sunday address that marked the most important day on the Christian calendar by deploring the suffering caused by wars. Francis, 87, has been in poor health in recent weeks, forcing him on repeated occasions to limit his public speaking and cancel engagements as he did on Good Friday, March 29. Escaping at short notice a procession at Rome's Colosseum. However, he took part in other Holy Week's events leading up to Easter and appeared in relatively good spirits on Sunday. Easter celebrates the day in which the faithful believe Jesus rose from the dead. In other story, Russian President Vladimir Putin signed a decree setting out a routine spring conscription campaign, calling up 150,000 citizens for a statutory military service. A document posted on the Kremlin's website showed on Sunday, March 31. All men in Russia are required to do a year-long military service or equivalent training during higher education from the age of 18. In July, Russia's lower house of parliament voted to raise the maximum age at which men can be conscripted to 30 from 27. The new legislation came into effect on January 1, 2024. And finally, in the news outside the country, 3 United Nations observers and a translator were wounded on Saturday when a shell exploded as they were carrying out a food patrol in South Lebanon. The UN peacekeeping mission said, adding it was still investigating the origin of the blast. Lebanese armed group Hezbollah has been trading fire with the Israeli military across the Blue Line since October in parallel with the war in Gaza. The United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon, or UNIFIL, said in a statement on Saturday that targeting of peacekeepers is unacceptable. And that's all for the 12 o'clock news break, April 1, 2024. We'll be right back tomorrow for more news updates. And thanks to our 12 o'clock news break writer, Francia May Boras. And on the technical side, Chad Bobis. And our Provincial Information Officer, Attorney Mary Duque Castillo. And under the supervision of our Governor, Attorney Elsa Greg Slagman, I am Greg Hallare. Thank you for subscribing.